Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Risen Fallen Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Hendrickson, and I hope you are doing well today. Happy Thursday. We are doing good so far this week. We're pounding through this week. If you're listening to this in the morning, happy Thursday morning. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, then I hope your Thursday went well. It's probably almost over now. These episodes drop at 5 o'clock every single Monday and Thursday night on YouTube, and at 5 a.m. when I get up on, Mondays and Thursdays as well. But I hope your Thursday is doing well. I know that I'm pounding through this work week. I'm feeling pretty good so far. And I just want to kind of sit down and record this episode for you guys today. It's actually Sunday when I do this, it's Saturday today. I completely forgot. It's Saturday today as I record this. And I'm doing pretty well today. I hope you're doing well as well. That was a weird intro, but anyways, welcome to the show. If you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development, topics like that. And if you are a returning listener or viewer, then you already know what to expect. And thank you very much for the support that you constantly give and for coming back and joining in on this journey. But so hope you guys are doing well. Today, I just want to sit down and record this episode because it is Saturday for me right now, and I just finished earlier today my second jiu-jitsu competition, and I wanted to kind of share some of the lessons that I learned, but also just kind of share the results and just kind of chat about that as well today, because I think that there's some cool things to take home from, these types of experiences. And I think that the more we talk about these things, the more that we share these experiences, the more we can, kind of basically grow together. I think that that's kind of the most beautiful thing about the platform of speaking about the things that we go through and sharing that with others. I think that that's one of the best ways as human beings that we learn and grow. So anyways, today I got to compete in a jiu-jitsu competition. It's my second one that I've done, and it was a great experience. I cleaned up my eating for the last few weeks, got really dialed in with that so I could make weight. I was going to training every single night, getting really stoked for it, and I've been doing some cold plunging, some saunas, just kind of doing some recovery. And I woke up this morning ready to rock and roll, pretty stoked. The brackets were posted a couple of days ago, and I was pretty fired up for it. And this morning I got in my truck and was getting ready to go, and I sat down in my truck, and it was, we were ready to rock and roll. And I just felt my stomach drop, the nerves finally hit me this morning, and I was like, fucked. Today's the day, it's time to rock and roll. And I was kind of nervous, actually. I was kind of anxious. I talk a lot about kind of the idea of anxiety and excitement and how they're one and the same. And I was just basically telling myself, I think a lot of the times we build these events up so much in our heads, whether it's a jiu-jitsu competition or anything else that we're going to go through in life or try and do for the first time or the second time, or even if you've done things a million times. Some of the events that we go through in life, we build up so much in our head, the importance of succeeding and the importance of doing your best, which is important, but we build the intensity up and the importance up so much over these events that we can really psych ourselves out sometimes. And when I was driving to the competition, I'm obviously driving there with Teddy, and we're just sitting there talking in the truck, and we were having the conversation, basically saying I'm just gonna treat this like the training that I do every single day. I go to training every single night and I spar with people, and, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, sometimes I do well, sometimes I fucking feel frustrated with myself. There's nothing I can do to learn or progress or grow or do better. I just feel like sometimes I hit a dead end or a brick wall in my progress. There's no way to move forward. And I think that that's such a beautiful kind of symbolism for how life truly is, because sometimes, progress does stop. Sometimes progress does just kind of feel like, hey, I'm just like kind of fucking taking one step forward, two steps back. But that's how everything in life works, whether you're practicing a martial art, whether you're, trying to lose body fat, whether you're trying to make money, or whether you're trying to do anything in life. Like, sometimes when you're just going and chasing after a goal, you are going to hit dead ends. You're going to hit these times where it feels like you hit a plateau where, there's just no more room for improvement. And no matter what you do or what you try, whether, you're trying new things, or you're trying to improve in the things that you know already that you can do really well, there's just no progress. No matter how hard you try, no matter how often you keep showing up, no matter what you do, you just kind of feel like you've hit a plateau. Like there's nowhere to go. Like there's no way to progress or move forward. And those are the times that really make or break you, because if you give up during those times, then you're fucked. You really do kind of seal the deal for yourself, and you really do kind of affirm that there is no more going forward because you've given up. And if you can push past those times where you feel like, oh, there's nothing I can do to move forward, but you tell yourself, hey, I'm just going to keep showing up, I'm just going to keep trying, that's when you can make those breakthrough moments, and they'll happen when you least expect them. And so I can't remember why I started talking about that, but anyways, so I tell myself as I'm driving to the tournament, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to treat this as an everyday training session. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do as best as I can, and whatever happens, happens, because I'm very self-critical. I'm always kind of in my own head that way. And I remember saying, and I kind of told myself this as I was driving there, I'm like, no matter what happens today, there's going to be something that I'm pissed off about. There's going to be something that I'm upset about, that I think back and think, oh, I wish I did this differently, or I wish I knew this before I went into this competition. I knew, that no matter what happens, there's going to be something that pisses me off. So my focus today is going to be not on things that I can do better, but things that I can learn to appreciate, things that I can actually look back and say, hey, I'm proud of this. I'm really stoked about this. I was literally looking for things to be happy about, because I knew that no matter what I do, there's going to be something that pisses me off. So my mindset all day was just like, try and find the things that you're going to appreciate, that you can look back on and be excited for. And so I entered both the no-gi and the gi divisions, because I really just wanted to test myself in every way possible. And it's funny because I felt more confident going into the gi division. I felt a little bit more, not safe, but I just felt more competent, and I felt more confident. And, I ended up going into that bracket, and I lost my first round, and that's it. That was it. I was done. I was eliminated from that division. So I was pretty choked about that. I walked off the mats, and I looked over at my buddy who was there spectating, and I said to him, first thing I said was, well, that fucking sucked. And, after kind of reviewing the match, watching some footage, and talking about it with some of the higher level belts in my gym, there was definitely a lot of things that I did really, really well. It ended up being I lost in points, so there was no submission, which I was pretty stoked about. I got a good escape from an armbar that was pretty tight. And, it's nice because now when I go back to training on Monday, there's going to be guys that watched the fight, that knew exactly what happened, and we can train on the things that I didn't do as well as I wanted to. And then, there's also the celebration of like, hey, I didn't get submitted, and, who knows what could have happened if I was just more efficient with time. And, I had some dominant positions, but yeah, it is what it is. I didn't play the game as well as I wanted to, and I didn't get as many points as I wanted to, and I ended up losing. So it is what it is. And then it was on to the no-gi division, which I was actually a lot more anxious and nervous for. But, the funny thing about it is I ended up I ended up winning gold in that division. So it was pretty stoked. So, it was funny because that was where I felt a little less confident. I was actually in a heavier weight bracket or a weight division for that category for no-gi. I was in a heavier division, so I was kind of a little bit more nervous about having to fight bigger guys, but I ended up having to, I took a couple wins and I won that division, and it was pretty fun. I got a couple submissions, and I was pretty stoked. But for me, kind of the learning lesson for it was, there was the one category where I felt a lot more confident, a lot more kind of calm and collected. I didn't really feel as much stress or anxiety around, and I didn't do well at all. And then there's the other side of it where I was extremely anxious. I wouldn't say extremely anxious, but I was definitely more anxious. I was definitely feeling less confident, and I even was like kind of writing it off in the very beginning. Once I had made that first loss in the very beginning with the gi, I was like, fuck, well, that's it for me. Like, I don't really think I'm going to do well in the no-gi division. I think today's a wash, and I'm just taking losses all day. Like, it is what it is. But I went in and, I was thinking that I wasn't as aggressive as I wanted to be in the gi. And if I don't make some good moves now, then this will be it for me for the rest of the day. So I'm just going to fucking go as hard as I possibly can and give it my all and do my very best. And it ended up, that was where I started winning, was, a little bit of anxious and a little bit less, cautiousness. That was really what I felt like helped me out get through that time of anxiety, was just thinking like, I'm going to throw caution out the window because, it's kind of do or die at this point. I've already been eliminated from one category, and so if I don't just give it my all and not take chances, then I'm taking losses all around. And that was kind of the learning lesson that I had for the day. Looking back and reflecting on it is like, sometimes we were going to feel anxious. We're going to feel scared. We're going to feel nervous. We're going to feel, like we're going to fail. But those times where you feel like you're anxious and you're going to fail and you're going to let other people down and you're going to embarrass yourself, it makes us more cautious, and we're looking for, things that might hurt us, things that might, be catalysts to make us fail. And we get in our own heads and we worry, and we forget that, these are things that we practice for, we train for. These are things that we prepare for, things that we've done before. Or things that, at the very least, if you've never done this thing before, then you've prepared yourself by doing things that you are bad at before. So you kind of are trained to overcome adversity in the first place. The fact that you're here proves that all together, because deep down in your heart that you've gone through tough times. You've overcome adversity in the past. The fact that you're here, breathing, living, listening to this podcast right now is proof that you've overcome things in the past that hurt and that made you scared, that made you feel like you couldn't keep moving forward. But you did, and you're here right now. And so you're conditioned already to overcome adversity, whether you know it or not. And if you live cautiously and you live trying to be safe and you live trying to, only be in situations that you're comfortable and confident in, then you're only going to perform to that level all the time. And you're not going to see growth, you're not going to see development, you're not going to progress in life, and you're just going to stay comfortable where you are right now until that's, uncomfortable in and of itself, because you're tired of being comfortable, you're tired of being where you are. The flip side to that is, if you live in the area of life where you are a little bit anxious, you are a little bit uncomfortable, and you decide, look, I've done that whole comfort side and I ended up getting losses anyways. I'm just going to keep pushing myself, and I'm just going to keep taking risks, and I'm going to put myself in the position of, fuck it. It's do or die. I'm going to do it anyways, and I might as well give it my best shot. That's where you're going to see wins in life. That's where you're going to see progress. That's where you're going to do things that make you proud, so you can reflect back on it later and say, I feel anxious, I feel nervous, I feel shitty, I feel like I might let myself down, or, sometimes even worse, I might let someone else down. But I felt like that before and I came out with a win. And yeah, you've probably faced losses in the past, but I'm telling you to reflect back on the times right now that you've won, where you felt like you couldn't do something and you did. And to put yourself in a situation like that now, to put yourself in a situation where you feel like, maybe I won't be able to do this. And then to overcome that by reflecting back on those other times where you've overcome things that you didn't think that you could do, and continue to build up from there. And so that was kind of my experience today. It was a fun day. We went out for burgers after at my favorite place, Burger Heaven in New West. Shout outs to Burger Heaven in New West. And then came home and just kind of chilled out a bit. And then now I'm doing a little bit of editing. And I was like, hey, I'm going to do a little bit of recording first and then sit down and do some editing. And then that's pretty much my day. So hope you guys are doing well. If you want to connect with the Risen Fallen group, we do walks, we do hikes, we do in-person meetups every single weekend. On the weekends that we don't do the in-person meetups, we jump on Zoom for a little Zoom call, so that every single weekend we do have some connection, some community building there. And obviously we have the daily group chat as well on Telegram. So if you guys want to join in on that group, it's pretty bumping as well. It's something that I'm really excited about and I feel a lot of connection to. So if you do want to join in on that, reach out to me on Instagram. It's @RisenFallen. If you want to support, but you aren't able to join in because maybe you don't live in the Vancouver area, or maybe your weekends are completely packed, but you do want to support the community, you can grab some of the merch. We have hoodies, we have tees, and that is all available on the Risen Fallen website, risenfallen.com, obviously. And then the proceeds, from those things pay for the in-person meetups. When we go for coffee, when we grab bite to eat, when we go skating in the wintertime, when we do anything like that, that's all paid for by the proceeds of the merch. So I implore you to go and grab some of that. It's comfy stuff. I'm pretty stoked about it, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope your Thursday's going well. Take that idea that I was sharing earlier and apply it to your life. Put yourself in those situations where you feel like, maybe you won't be able to persevere. Maybe you won't be able to succeed in whatever goal that you have. And just put yourself in that situation. Because if you end up not getting the result you like, then you can reflect back and take it as a learning lesson and try and dig around and find, something that you can be proud of, something that you can be happy about, something that you can appreciate. And that's, that's only in the off chance that you lose. That's only in the off chance that you don't get the result you want. But if you put yourself in that situation, you also have the opportunity to do something that makes you proud. You'd be like, fuck, I didn't think I could do that, and here I am. I fucking did it. And you'll be fired up, and you'll be fucking stoked. But if you don't put yourself in that situation, then you don't have the opportunity to learn or win. And so you're basically just only fucking yourself. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy Thursday. Love you all. Much love. Peace out, motherfuckers. You beautiful fucking humans. Bye.